Welcome to On My Radar with me, the Gabby Cabby on SRB Radio. On this show I check out and hook up with artists who are literally on that radar. Joining me today is a young lady I first heard about when I cut a show recently at Katie Fitzgerald's in Stourbridge. It's the beautiful and the wonderfully talented Danni Nicholls.
Hello.
Young lady, come closer. I don't
Hello.
bite.
Okay, are you sure?
I bark, but I never bite.
Okay, good.
Welcome to Birmingham and welcome to this leafy suburb of Kings Heath, just off the high street in the Kitchen Garden Cafe that's just through Fletcher's.
Here we are. Yeah, I've heard so much about this venue. Lots of my friends have played here, and a lot of artists that I love have played here. So it's a real honour to be here tonight. I can't wait to do the shows.
Well, firstly, what I want to talk about your nan.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. You know,
Done my research.
Okay.
I used to not bother with researching, but I find that when I'm doing a one-to-one with somebody that is such a star like you, I want to act slightly professional. Right? But firstly, I want to go back to that night where I was in Stourbridge in the Katie Fitzgerald, and Ian Murray, who I bought a CD off him. It was called Born, Bred, Believe, and I then put it into my car and was listening to the CD. I have to say, I'm flicking through it, and I've got through track 1, track 2, track 3. Now, it's your fault that I didn't get through to track 8, because you, young lady, are track 7, A Little Redemption, right?
It's my favourite number.
I nearly crashed the car. I pulled over, and I instantly tweeted up to Ian and said, who the hell is this lady with the voice? And he said, it's Danni Nicholls.
Oh, gosh.
And then, check this out, it's Record of the Week on the Biscuit Boys show next week.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I tweeted you up to tell you, and then noticed that you're playing here tonight, so I thought, £8 to come in, £10 for the CD, that is just a gift from heaven.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
Katie Fitzgerald. How did you get involved with Kate? Is that what took you to Stourbridge firstly?
Well, a friend of mine, Martin Furlong, gig promoter, runs Black Cat Music, puts on some great shows all around the country. He just got in touch saying, I'm doing some shows at a venue in Stourbridge, would you like to play it? I said, of course, yes, I'll do it. So we drove up from me, swung by Bedford, which is my hometown, picked me up, and we drove up and we did the show, and Grace Petrie was on, and can't remember who else was on. Can't remember his name. Oh no, that's really bad.
They were fantastic.
But I bought his CD. Amazing, seminal folk artist. I've gone blank.
Yeah.
But, great night, wonderful venue. Was treated so well. Had a lovely time. So that was how that sort of came about really. And then then they put this CD together, Born, Bred, Believe, and asked me to submit a track. And I was like, of course. So, and then, the rest is history, isn't it?
and that's the beauty of it, that there's so many, sometimes an artist will go, they'll say, can you submit a track? And they go, I can't be asked. I can't be bothered. But
it's very important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You never know who listens to that music. And through submitting that track, A Little Redemption, I listened to it, and we're hooking up now, and I'm going to help you all the way, baby, to Nashville and back. Because that's your new album. This is the first day of your spring tour of Mockingbird Lane.
Yep.
Is that correct?
It is. New album, Mockingbird Lane. I'm very fortunate. I got to make both of my albums in Nashville, Tennessee. With some incredible people, and I just got back, not just, but in January I did the second album in Nashville, Mockingbird Lane. So this is the first date of the tour, first time in Birmingham, and so it's an exciting evening, and we'll be playing a bunch of new songs from the new album, due out in a few months' time. So
why Mockingbird Lane?
It's actually a lyric in one of the songs on the album. I have family in Atlanta, Georgia, Marietta, Georgia, and whenever I go over there to Nashville, I always swing by and see the family. And we were just driving along one day, and there was a road sign that said Mockingbird Lane, and I just thought, blimey, that's got to be a song. Mockingbird Lane. I wonder what happened on Mockingbird Lane. So I made up a story about what happened on Mockingbird Lane. And the song ended up on the album. The song is called Beautifully Broken. But there's a lyric there, Mockingbird Lane. So I just, it was the first song as well that was complete. And the first song is sort of the lead track that pulled all the rest of the songs around it. And it sort of felt like fairly seminal. So... yeah, that's why, really. It sounds kind of nice.
I think it sounds fantastic.
Thanks.
Why Birmingham is my next question.
Well, this venue, Kitchen Garden Cafe, I see it a lot of my favourite artists, like I said, and a lot of Americana artists.
Yeah.
I see it on their tour list, and I was like, I want to see what this place is all about. So I sent an email saying, I'm looking for tour dates. Would you be interested? And I got a lovely email back, and they said, yeah. Here's some dates, pick one. And I was like, brilliant. So I've been really excited. But it's always a little nerve-wracking when you haven't played a city. It's a big city. There's so much on tonight. One of my good friends and amazing singer-songwriter is playing just 10 minutes down the road as well tonight, Jess Morgan. Okay. Everyone should check out Jess. She's wonderful. But there is so much going on in the city tonight, and it's my first time. And so you just think, well, who's going to be there?
I'm there.
So you're here. That's the main thing. I've got some other friends coming as well. So you've got to start somewhere. And I'm very pleased to be here. So, yeah.
So while we're still in Mockingbird Lane, what else is on? How many tracks are going to be on the album?
There's 11 tracks on this album.
Great figure.
And some of the tracks I wrote 6 or 7 years ago that have been waiting for the right moment to come on an album, and this is the time. Some of them I literally wrote a week or two before going into the studio, so they're very new and they haven't really been gigged very much. So a lot of these songs are new for me, fresh songs for me. Mixture on there of old and new. But I'm really pleased. I'm so excited about getting out there in the world. But for me, playing live is the key. So just having this be the first night of the tour, I'm really buzzing. And there's another 15 or so dates to go. And it's exciting.
It's been on Pledge Music, hasn't it? Tell me how that works.
Yeah, Pledge Music, so it's the crowdfunding thing, which is a lot, more people are doing it. I personally think it's an incredible way to connect directly with fans and offer up the chance to be sort of involved from the ground up and really get involved and support an artist in any way you feel, really, from a nominal fee to whatever you want, and there's all sorts of things on offer. So it's a platform where you sort of pre-sell the album that you haven't made yet, but you're inviting people to come on the journey from the beginning. And I did a lot of updates. The pledges get access to the updates as you create the project. You see the thing unfold, but also it costs a lot of money to make records and to do it well. So there's obviously there's the money side of things, and people put up the money and the artist gives back. So that's the way it works, really. The campaign's closed now, but we hit our target, and I was able to use those funds then to make this album. So it's I and a lot of other artists rely quite heavily on that, and it just gives us a lot of independence, and it just means that we can make music. You can do the project.
Would it be fair to say there that the likes of Pledge Music, the crowdfunding, that situation, is it taking the place of the record label? Because in the olden days, the label did that, didn't they? They would invest in the artist, and then you would sell.
They would also own the copyright. They would own the material, and there's certain restrictions then for the artist.
Correct.
If the label owns it. But this way, I own my own material.
Yeah.
If I then decide to license it out to someone to help me get it out into the world, I could do that, or I could self-release it. It just gives you so much more independence and choice. Correct. The old model was that you didn't have a lot of choice, and not as many people could make music because there was a selection process, and it just gives so many more people the platform to create, and that's what I love about it.
So I'm guessing with the Americana theme and the artist that you are, you're going to sell millions and millions of records in America.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, it's a bit, Well, that would be lovely, but it's a tough business. You know, there's so many people doing it, so many incredible artists out there, and not a lot of space for us all to be heard and get those prime spots where you can reach a wider audience. But, you know, I'll keep chipping away.
Would you fancy being signed to a label if the deal was right for you as the artist?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I like to retain a lot of... I'm quite an independent artist. I like to be very involved. I wouldn't want to be a puppet. And,
I love that.
But there's a lot of... These days there's negotiation, you know, and maybe I could work with someone, but who knows, you know, who knows what will... My first album went out on a small label and we worked together, and that was a great experience, and now knowing a bit more about the industry, I might self-release this one. I don't know, it's all up in the air at the moment, but we have choices, and that's the main thing.
That's what I love about you.
Have choices.
You're thinking on your feet while you're sitting down, multitasking, and we're having a little drink as well.
I know.
So now we're going to go back to the beginning, and you're going to tell me about your nan.
Oh,
because she's the one that got you into the music in the first place. Her record collection, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, she had a lot, you know, we would go around and stay and have family time, and, you know, on the record player or the CD player, I don't know what it was, but there would be music playing, and it would be old school American rootsy country music playing a lot of the time. My grandmother on my mother's side are Anglo-Indian.
Okay.
My mum was born in Madras, which is now Chennai. And we have this community thing, Anglo-Indian community thing. So we'd have family parties, all the family would be there. And we would have a lot of rock and roll music and country music. And there was just this thing about our culture that would have... that was the sound of my childhood, growing up with those family parties. And my uncle gave me a mixtape when I was very young of rock and roll music. Elvis, Eddie Cochran, what else? Chuck Berry, that kind of thing. Greatest hits. And I just played that tape until it broke. And I would do air guitar on my bed, jumping around to Elvis songs. And that was the foundation as a young child. Country music and rock and roll music and blues music and Northern soul kind of stuff, American rootsy kind of stuff. Then I grew up, you know, picked up a guitar, inherited a guitar from my uncle.
What age?
16, I think. I inherited that guitar.
You're only about 20 now, aren't you?
Oh, you're my best friend.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'm 29. Okay. 29 years old.
Same as my son.
Good age. I'm coming into my own, I feel. I like this age. It's been good. But yeah, I got this guitar, 16-year-old, and I don't know, it just... The original music just fell out. I started writing songs immediately, and it was in this sort of rock and roll kind of vein, just because that seemed to be what was natural to me. I've experimented with all sorts of things, as you do, singer-songwritery stuff, more folky stuff, more easy listening stuff, but and then I was living in Brighton, 2007 to 2011. I was in Brighton. And that I call those the country years. That's when I was really... I revisited my early years of it. Basically, my friend came around and we hired out a movie. It was Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash movie.
Okay.
And it stirred up so many memories and emotions for me that I couldn't ignore it. And I was like, oh my God, I love country music. And I'd completely forgotten. And I just delved into that world, and I've sort of been swimming about in it ever since, really, and exploring all these. And then Americana itself in a genre has been evolving. Still now, you say Americana, and some people just don't sort of really understand what that is, but it's this melting pot of American roots music that I love, and that sort of really speaks to my heart and gives me butterflies, and that's the kind of music that I like to play. So,
favourite country songs? Have you got one?
You know, my favourite song, if I really had to choose, is Jolene.
Jolene.
Yeah, and it's been sort of hashed around and hammed up, and it's sung very drunkenly at parties, and it's a bit of a joke. But what a song. I mean, it really makes me cry every time. It's the most heart-wrenching, sad, but beautiful, wonderful song. And Dolly Parton is just such an incredible songwriter, one of my favourite songwriters. And I love that song.
Do you not find, though, the songs that resonate with the audience and with the artist as well come from a poor time, come from a time where you're on your knees? your dog's died, your cat's died,
Yeah,
your boyfriend,
I
your
think
girlfriend's left you.
Country and blues music, that sort of seems to
Do-do-do.
be the way of it. But it's speaking a human truth
exactly.
that penetrates,
Yeah.
really gets through, because it does come from such a place of emotion and truth.
Yeah.
I think that's why it speaks so widely to people, and that so many people can relate.
Now, a massive champion of country music is Whispering Bob Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday
Legend.
to Bob the other day, you
Yeah,
did, didn't you?
yeah, I did. Yeah,
Is he a fan?
Oh, I don't
Yes,
know
of
about,
course he is.
I don't know about. Well, he's played my songs on his show, so, and that was a huge deal for me. I mean, his legacy. I mean, what a
Legend.
guy. He is a legend.
Oh,
he
yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
And he's brilliant, and I love all the things he stands for and the music he plays and his shows, and he's a champion of my genre of music as well, which is great. So for him to have played a song of mine on his show was a big deal, and and he's a lovely man as well.
And I think with Bob championing country on the wonderful Radio 2, because they are BBC Radio 2, are up there with the greatest radio stations on the planet. Country's making a massive comeback. Not that it's ever been away, but a lot of people are saying
it's coming into the mainstream,
yeah,
into a
they're
younger
saying this
audience.
is the summer of country, baby.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting, and I suppose there's flavours of that in my music, and a lot of that. But it's such a huge umbrella, which is very exciting. There's the pop end of the scale, which is the Ward Thomases, who are a wonderful duo, doing so well, and there's all sorts of things. And then there's the more alternative underground, kind of rootsy, rockabilly kind of end, and there's just everything in between. So. It'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. I've been waiting for this thing to happen for a long time, I suppose. So it's cool that it's happening. It's
and
good.
Obviously, touring the world, this side of the pond, the other side of the pond. Name check to some of the venues that you've played.
I mean, I personally play some lovely small, I'm still at a very small, intimate stage. A lot of house concerts, which I love to do, which is a growing trend. The Kitchen Garden Cafe, finally. Not quite yet, but in a few minutes, we'll be up there. Where else? Oh gosh, this put me on the spot.
Can I give
now.
you one?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, that'd be
The
helpful.
Apple Tree session.
Yeah,
You played that, didn't you?
That was less of a venue, but more of a session at at Bob Harris's house, which was quite fun. And his sons are they have a company all together, and they're doing great things for Americana music. So that was really lovely to be invited to do that. All sorts of venues and all sorts of places all around the world, really.
Now, do you like football? Because I'm going to go into this, because the track that you played, it's FA Cup semi-final day today. And football's a big game in the UK, isn't it? You sang a song called Beautiful Game, which is what association football is widely regarded as. Lyrics in there, there's a girl like me in every town. No, there's not one like you in every town, kid.
I don't know about that. That's a song. Yeah, I was obviously trying to play on words. Like, here's a song that is definitely not about football.
Yes.
It's more about it's a tale about someone who's sort of had an encounter with maybe someone of, I don't know. Not necessarily biographical, by the way. I take
never write them
I
too.
take a lot of stories, but it's basically a tale about someone who's had a bit of a fling with someone famous, and then they've been dropped.
Really?
And for them, it's a huge deal for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And for the other person, obviously, it's just one of a string of, and that interesting sort of interplay between two people, how that moment, that experience, how one takes it and how the other takes it, and they're polar opposites. And it's just an idea that sprung to mind.
Fancy in the kind of music industry or the wider celebrity culture, somebody having a fling and using somebody and then just disregarding them. You'd never think that'd happen in the real world, surely.
I think it's Yeah.
Happens daily, doesn't
I
it?
think it's fairly regular occurrence, actually.
Anyone wanting to hook up with you, let's have a check out for your... Is it DanniNicholls.com?
Yeah.
That is an absolutely professional, wonderful website that you've got.
Thanks.
I checked it out. There's photos, there's videos.
There's a bit of everything.
Literally, isn't there?
You've got to, really. You've got to have all that jazz on there if you want to be... Well, it's my job, you know.
Yep.
I'm fairly serious about it. It's not a hobby. It's my life. So... but I hope, that it's for anyone visiting that website. There's, some interesting things
today.
for there.
Check this out, right? I wrote 2 words because I don't do a script. I don't like scripts.
No.
I can't read. You noticed that when I first started up, and I fluffed my lines. Don't ever give me any lines because
keep it organic.
I'm hopeless. So I'm checking out your website, right? And it's a double N, isn't it? And it's a double L. 2 L's in Nicholls.
Yes.
Okay.
Danny's double N-I. Yeah.
Exactly. Professional and class. Look, I wrote that. That's my writing.
Too kind.
Professional and class.
I try my best.
And it is professional and class. It's everything that you look at you and you just ooze beauty. You ooze class.
They can't see me blushing on the radio, but that's what's happening, folks.
But that's the nice thing about the Billy Fury connection. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, well, we touched on
we
touched on the guitar that I inherited earlier on. Very briefly, quick story. My uncle Heathcliff, my nan's brother, used to live in West Hampstead, drink in the pubs in West Hampstead. His mate offered him. He'd bought this guitar and couldn't play it, so he was like, "Hey mate, do you want to buy this guitar?" I bought it off Billy Fury. That's the story. We have no proof, but my uncle said that he bought it off his mate in the pub, and his mate had bought it off Billy Fury. So, Billy Fury used to hang out in the West Hampstead area. He used to record there. He lived there. He drank there. That's proven. So it is highly likely that happened, and that would be lovely because it's a bloody lovely guitar, and it's the guitar I learnt on. And if it had channeled some magic through, that would be great. Yeah, it's just a good story, isn't it?
Now, 10 years ago, did you give up driving 10 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
And you just bumped into a motorway, didn't you, recently?
Yeah. I'm never going to trust my Google Maps ever again. I set it up. I've just bought this new car, and I haven't had one for years. And because I just need one. I lived in Brighton in London. You don't need one. And I was going somewhere to a gig, and I thought, I'll take the A roads. Put the A roads in my map. And I don't know what happened, but at one point it said, "No, take the roundabout, take the first exit and merge onto the M1." And I literally screamed. I was freaking out. I was like, "Oh my God, it's happening." But I did it, and I'm here to tell the tale, so it's okay. I can do it. It's fine.
So how have you got on with your driving now?
Oh yeah, good, pretty good.
Because
it's quite essential now. I'm living in Bedford and I'm touring a lot, and sometimes public transport, it's cool, but I like a bit of independence. Yeah, I'm 29 years old. I need a bit of independence, So that's what's happening, but it's all good.
So you was born in Bedford. You've gone full circle, and you're now back. You're almost ready to go on, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I'm about to, I'm about to go on
I'll tell
stage.
you what we'll do. We're going to cut it now.
All right.
I'm going to watch you perform, and then we're going to have a brief little chat afterwards, if
Cool,
that's okay with you.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then we're going to say goodnight to all our listeners.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Then.
Good plan.
See you in a bit.
All right, we'll see you in a
Go
bit.
and have a quick beer, and I'm going to watch you smash this place,
Oh,
baby.
blimey. Well, wish me luck.
You don't need any luck when you're as good as you.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Gav.
Okay.
Like a runaway train, you crashed right in, smashed through the walls and into my skin. Pieces of you got stuck deep inside that I can't get out, though I've tried and I've tried. When I hear your name, takes me right back there again. You're just a piece of a star that landed in our world, and I was just a player in your beauty. took my castle, hell, you took everything. Now you're dancing in the desert with the wolves and pretty girls, blinding their eyes with sequins and curls. When I hear your name, takes me right back there again. You're just a piece of a star that landed in my world, and I was just a player in your beautiful game. Say, oh baby, it's true. There's nobody else, there's no one like you. There's a girl like me in every town. Get sucked in, spit right out. And when I hear your name, takes me right back there again. You're just a piece of a star that landed in my world, and I was just a player. You're beautiful. Oh, when I hear your name, takes me right back there again. You're just a piece of a star that landed in the world, and I was just a player in your beautiful game. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Your beautiful game.
Well, young lady, that was absolutely
blimey,
fantastic.
Well, thank you very much. I very much enjoyed it.
You have a voice that can melt chocolate, and a look.
I've not heard that one before.
And a look that melts hearts. With a personality.
Blushing again. Come on, Gab.
A personality that I'd not seen before. I thought that your performance. I'm looking at it as a fan. Mm-hmm. Right, I couldn't take my eyes off you. Nobody else could. You had the audience in the palm of your hand. You even done an unplugged set with a mate that you hadn't played for 4.5 years.
Yeah, no, that was a nice surprise. I love things like that.
Yeah.
Keeps it sort of fresh, interesting, on your toes. You know, otherwise, you know, you play the same songs, you tell the same stories, and it can get a little. Yeah. You know, you just always want to be on edge, and it was fun. It was really good fun. Yeah, good crowd, a good first Birmingham experience. Yeah. Hurrah!
And
chill out now.
The bits in between, but you're just so nice, so natural, and so beautiful, and you just
stop it.
But you just get up there, Dan, and I mean, I was sitting next to your friend Graham.
Yeah,
and I think he's seen you 18 times now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's a fan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is a fan, friend and a fan, and support like that. I still kind of blows my mind. Yeah, lots of people they turn up to several shows. You see them time again, and you just think, wow, that's nuts. Yeah, and it is nuts. It's a really weird concept to get a hold of, but it's very lovely as well. So I appreciate everyone's support so much more than I could possibly say because it's a funny old business, but
yes, it is.
It makes it really worth it, and it reminds you why the hell you do this crazy thing. So yeah.
But I think when you are again so nice, people want to go back, and that voice. Where did you get that? You just smoked like 20 Woodbine a day to get a voice like
whiskey,
that.
It's the whiskey. No, you know what? I've worked really hard on the vocals. It doesn't come. I suppose now that I've been doing it a long time, it comes more naturally, but. I've worked on it. You know, the more you do, the more you train your voice. You know, and you just bloody load of gigs is basically it.
Learning your craft,
gigging constantly for 8 years. I suppose will do that as well. So, but no, it's very nice of you to say.
So your new album, when is the release date? How can people get it?
At the moment, there is no release date because we don't know how we're releasing it. But I've got a sort of an idea in my mind: late summer, early autumn. So just basically keep an eye out. If anyone's interested in getting that, just keep an eye out. Facebook page, website, all of those announcements obviously are going to be on there. Sign up to the mailing list on the website, and you can keep in touch.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
I'm a fan, because I'm going to come watch you again.
Right.
I want to buy your new album. So how do I do that?
The pre-order online is not open yet. At gigs, you can pre-order it at gigs at the moment. Very soon, we'll set up a pre-order online where you can put your details in, and when the CD's ready, it'll come to your door. And then the official release will be late summer, and then you can just get it whenever you get it. So the best thing to do if you want to know about it is to sign up to the mailing list, which is on DanniNicholls.com, and just keep in touch and I'll let you know. But it's early days, so we're getting there. It'll be out late summer, I think.
And throughout the summer, I know your mini tour, your spring tour.
Yep, the spring tour.
I'm guessing that ends at the end of spring, because it's a spring tour.
Yeah, end of May, 27th of May, the last date in Norwich. So, and then there'll be some festival dates throughout the summer. And it's all on the website. It's all on the website.
You're good, baby. How many festivals have you got? Have you got anything
at the
lined
moment? There's 3 or 4. Red Rooster in Suffolk, Cornbury in Oxfordshire, the Cheltenham Witchwood Festival in Cheltenham, and a couple more in the pipeline. So keep an eye out. And I can't wait to get out there in the summer and love festivals. So it's exciting times.
Young lady, you are an absolute superstar in the making. You've got
Gab.
everything that is needed to go on and be one of the
We'll keep on keeping on.
Can I thank you very much for your time?
You certainly can. Thank you for having me on your show.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Should we both say good night? Thanks for listening. God bless.
Good night. Thanks for listening. God bless.
Ta-da.
Good night, moon. Good night, stars. Good night, all broke down cars. I'm going away. I'm leaving soon. Good night, darling. Good night, moon. I don't know where I'll be. I don't know if I'll see out the window of my room, shining down. Good night, moon. Thank you, babe, I'm gonna miss you when the night comes round. That's when I long to kiss you, with the moon shining on the ground. Thank you, babe, I'm gonna miss you when the night comes round. That's when I long to kiss you, where the moon shining on the ground. Good night, moon. Good night, stars. Good night, all broke down cars. I'm going away. I'm leaving soon. Good night, darling. Good night, moon. Good night, darling. night.